So how this NACO-Prayogshala is access. To access the NACO-Prayogshala, we have to type the web address in the web browser. Any web browser you can use. So www.nacoprayogshala.in. This is the web address that is to be entered into the web browser, and the NACO-Prayogshala will, the portal will be open. So some features are, this portal is compatible with multiple devices. Not only the desktop, laptop, and PC, but this is also can be accessible using the smartphones, right? And the program or this portal is prepared in such a way that it requires very minimum bandwidth and the skills to operate this platform. And whenever this aqueous activity is going on in any cadres, that kind of entries can be made immediately, and the review, the data will be available for the review to the higher tier laboratories, and the reports can be fast tracked for the participating laboratories. So these are some of the features of the NACO-Prayogshala. Now what we will just have a background of what is this called external quality assessment programs. Many of you have already aware about these programs, but then also to refresh our knowledge. So what is external quality assessment? So it is defined as a system of objectively checking the laboratory's performance using an external agency or facility. So the laboratory who is testing, that the laboratory's performance is checked by the external agency, which is independent of that particular laboratory. So for an example, if we say ICTCs are the testing laboratories where they are testing the patient samples, their performance is checked by the state reference laboratories who are external to that ICTC. So this is what external quality assurance assessment is. Similarly, for the CD4 and the viral load laboratories, NARI is conducting this proficiency testing or external quality assessment programs. Basically, this external quality assessment program are having three arms, which is one is the rechecking, where this rechecking arm is implemented in between the state reference laboratory and ICTC, where ICTC send some some samples with known result to the higher tier laboratories, and higher tier laboratories again retest and compare the results, so that in this way the performance of the ICTCs is monitored, right? Second arm is proficiency testing. In this arm, the panel samples are prepared by the higher tier laboratory. For example, a state reference laboratory will prepare a panel, 4-member panel say for, and these panels are coded with the panel code. So these panels are dispatched to the ICTC, which is lower tier laboratory, but not the results. So when ICTC receives this panel, they are not aware about the results, and they will test as a patient sample, and then result is sent back to the higher tier laboratory. Then higher tier laboratory will compare and the results, and accordingly the provider report whether the quality assessment is satisfactory or unsatisfactory. Along with this two arm, in the external quality assessment, on-site monitoring is also is one of the arm of the external quality assessment, where the higher tier laboratory generally use a checklist and monitor the lower tier laboratory for their routine activities. So the standard checklist is available for the monitoring of the ICTCs, and this, which is also a part of NACO certification programs, where the star gradings are available. The ICTCs are evaluated according to the performance, and the star gradings are available. And those ICTCs which are having 5-star grades are awarded as a certificate of excellence, and which is valid for 2 years. So this activity is also routine activity. Apart from that, other cadres also the same system is available. So NACO has implemented all these three arms as a external quality assessment schemes in all the NACP laboratories, and we will see how these programs are among different cadres. So you can see here in the middle, we will have the a triangle, a pyramid, which is having four tiers, four sections. So this is a 4-tier laboratory network for HIV testing, HIV serology testing, where the ICTCs are at the lower, who are testing the patient samples. Above them, the state reference laboratories, and above them, the national reference laboratories and apex laboratory. So how this external quality assessment is being implemented in among this tier HIV serology tier network. So here retesting and the proficiency testing both are implemented as a part of quality assessment program. So topmost laboratories and apex laboratory who prepares the panel and who send, and then apex laboratory send the panel to the lower tier laboratory, which is immediate lower tier laboratories, is NRLs. 13 NRLs are there, and then evaluate their external their performance. So once the NRLs passed with satisfactory result, then they are preparing the panel to dispatch to their respective state reference laboratories, and state reference laboratories will then send the test these samples and report to the national reference laboratories. Now, the lower tier laboratories, ICTCs, and the state reference laboratories prepare the panel for this, and they will also send to these ICTCs. So only difference is for the Apex Lab, NRL and SRL, so 8-member panels are exchanged, whereas for the ICTCs, 4-member panels are accessed. This is how the proficiency testing is being implemented. Now is already implemented. And then the second arm is the quarter retesting, where this is conducted among only the lower 2-tier laboratories, which are state reference laboratories and the ICTCs. So here the ICTC generally select the random 20 positive samples and 5% negative samples tested in first week of every quarters. So 4 quarters a year, this activity is conducted, and in each quarters they send this sample to the higher tier laboratory, which is state reference laboratories, and the state SRL test the sample. SRL again retest the sample and then compare the results. So here the results are also dispatched along with the samples by the ICTCs, and accordingly the SRL monitor the quality assessment. So this is all about the HIV serology external quality assessment program. Apart from that, we also have the NACO-Prayogshala for the CD4 laboratories, where 2-tier system is there. Apex laboratories, NACO, NARI, and NARI prepare a panel and distribute among the CD4 testing laboratories. Near about 400 plus CD4 testing laboratories are there, and the NACO-Prayogshala is conducted among these. Similarly, for the 64 viral load testing laboratories, the Apex laboratory is again NARI, and they submit the panel to these laboratories. So this is how the external quality assessment is implemented by NACO among the NACP laboratories. Now, you consider the 5,000 ICTCs for 400 plus CD4 testing laboratories, 64 viral load testing laboratories, and the duration also where retesting is being done quarterly, and proficiency testing is biannually. So the data generated using by implementing this EQAs among all the cadres will be huge. And the timely analysis of the data and timely interventions is very important. So for this purpose only, this NACO-Prayogshala is developed by NACO and Apex Laboratory NARI, and this will facilitate to fast track this activity. So here the reverse testing schedule is 4 times a year, which is January, April, July, and October, whereas the proficiency testing is twice a year after every 6 months. So this is how this is conducted. Now, what are the advantage of NACO-Prayogshala? So advantage are the online results entries enable higher tier laboratory to fast track review. So here you can consider the amount of data. Till date, the testing was done by the laboratories, and then reports are sent to the higher tier laboratories. Then higher tier laboratories then compile and again send to the immediate higher tier laboratories. So and then this is in this way, this data by compiling by the different stakeholders, different tier laboratories, and then then received by the NACO from the different states. So receiving itself was a time consuming, and then amount of data that was available in the form of Excel was also huge. So the analysis was tedious and cumbersome for NACO in timely manner. So NACO has requested this to prepare an NACO-Prayogshala to Share India, and Share India has developed this NACO-Prayogshala online digital platform. So this is first advantage, where the review and report submission and the interventions and improvements can be fast tracked using NACO-Prayogshala. Second is stakeholders can track the participation of the laboratories in proficiency testing and reverse testing rounds and review their performance. So stakeholders are NACO, SACS, DAPCUS, or state reference laboratories, immediate higher tier laboratories. So they can track the participation. Even if the SRL is having 100 or 50 ICTCs, they can track with the help of one click, and they can know who have participated, who are successfully passed the participation, and accordingly interventions can be taken immediately. And this was also helpful in cumulative analysis of the e-LaQSH round, which may be round wise or yearly, and the past year data will be available with the click, and so that the performance can also be analyzed, compare among the months, compare round wise, compare along with the years, the past years, and this is how this will be very useful tool for monitoring the external quality assessment program. And as discussed, this can also facilitate the real-time analysis at national level and state levels for the e-LaQSH programs, and this will also after the analysis, the policy making or the interventions can be fast-tracked by these stakeholders. So what is the role of SACS in NACO-Prayogshala? So this is the SACS module, where the NACO-Prayogshala can be operated by the SACS persons and representative, and the SACS can monitor their state performance for their external quality assessment programs. So they can able to track the participation of the laboratories in the EQA after each round. They need to track the participation regularly. They should ensure that all functional HIV testing laboratories participated in the EQA and entering the data. So functional HIV testing, NACO has very clear what is meant by the functional HIV testing laboratories. So even if any laboratory which is testing the patient samples is functional, if the testing is not being done, patients samples are not being received, and testing is not done, that we can say that inactive ICTC or inactive centers. But if the testing is being happened, that is called as functional HIV testing ICTCs. And even if the test, the staff is not available, the recruitments are not done for any one of the laboratory or centers, and the institutional staff is helping for this, they should also participate in the external quality assurance, and they are considered as a functional HIV testing laboratory. So to ensure that SACS role is very crucial. Now, they should review the performance of the laboratories for after each rounds, and then intervention they should start the interventions required as per the results. So in case of laboratory with unsuccessful result, ensure that the higher tier laboratories have taken the interventions for completion of the root cause analysis and corrective action. So this is very important stage. The mistakes can happen or the performance can be unsatisfactory, but that should have an improvement. Each round, the laboratory should improve. So we have to, so SACS have to ensure that the state reference laboratory should has taken the intervention to completion of the RC and corrective actions. So this information is also captured, and this will be readily available for the SACS to view and then plan their interventions. And next is ensure the supervisory laboratories are reviewing and dispatching the report in timely manners. So once the round is completed, say for retesting round is completed in January 7, and they have January 15, which is a deadline. So after a 15 day, within a 15 days, the SACS, the SRL should review the report and upload the results. So SACS should intervene, SACS should review this reporting of the result by that particular state reference laboratories, and they should intervene if any of the state reference laboratories is not compliance with the timeline that is set in the HIV testing guidelines. And SLACS should closely monitor the non-participating or non-performance laboratory and the action taken by the higher tier laboratories. Any interventions with the administrative or the technical, SACS should coordinate and accordingly ensure that these laboratories have improved. And then last one is the regular follow-up of non-performing laboratory to ensure that they do not regress post-corrective action implementation. So now, as we have discussed that, till now the hard copies were used for the result submission and the reporting also. So now this entire process was very cumbersome and the time consuming. So using the NACO-Prayogshala, this whole process of external quality assessment is digitalized. As far as the module is concerned, a NACO-Prayogshala module is concerned, the dashboards have prepared, and at the level of national level, which is NACO level, SACS level, and lab-wise level. So supervisory lab-wise level. So at the national level, the registration, readiness, registration details, how many participated, readiness, result, lab result, PT report, dashboard, and trends, all these things are available at the national level. So we will discuss in detail for the SACS. So first one is the registration details. How many laboratories have registered? Say for if the ICTCs are 500 ICTCs are there in the SACS SR state, and only 300 or 400 have registered. Similarly for the other cadres, so the that means the NACO-Prayogshala is not utilized by these people. One more important thing is that NARI has clearly mentioned, NACO has clearly mentioned that henceforth all the activities which are related to the external quality assessment program will be done through the NACO-Prayogshala. So only online things will be acceptable. So registration is very crucial. Then readiness. So in case of the CD4 laboratories, the external quality assessment is developed in such a way that in such a way that key CD4 laboratories should submit their readiness to accept the panel, test the panel. Whereas for all other laboratory, it is compulsory. For the CD4 laboratory is also compulsory, but if any laboratory is having genuine issue where machine is not functional for prolonged period and major thing is there, so they can submit all these people should submit the readiness that we are ready to receive the samples we are testing. So in the CD4 laboratories, if the readiness is not submitted by the CD4 laboratory, so we have to check whether a genuine issue is there, whether patient sample testing is going on. If patient sample testing is going on, they should participate in the external NACO-Prayogshala external quality assessment programs. Then SACS can view the lab results, whether which lab is unsuccessful and which lab is successful, and accordingly interventions can be planned. The PT reports is also available on the SACS modules and the dashboards. So in the dashboards, overall scenario of the states will be displayed, which is being discussed by my colleague, Mr. Ajit Kumar, in the next session. And then the last one is these trends. So you can view the trends of the participation and the success of the laboratories. This is what the SACS module is having. So if anyone is having a questions, we can discuss the questions. The next session is conducted by my colleague Ajit Kumar. So I will hand over this to Ajit Kumar. Any questions in the chat box?
No, there's no.
Okay. If there are no questions, we can take up at the end of the session also if you have. Now I request Ajit Kumar ji to take over the session.
Pankaj, I think if there is no technical question till the presentation, so we can go ahead with the rest of the part. So this is just a few more slides for the presentations. Then we are going to the live server and we can see how the system's actually working. So this is again one of the flowchart of the program for the entire process. What is exactly how this is working? This is a technical flowchart. This is one is the first. Every facility, including SACS, NACO, NARI, even NRL, load CD4s, then SRLs, the lowest one, the grassroots level, the ICTC. Everyone's supposed to get registered. Registration is, we all know that is what is exactly registration. So many of you and all of us have the emails that we have to register first. Then we used to get a login ID and password for login. Just the same system is applicable here. Everyone's supposed to be login. They can only play within their criteria, within their target. So once you are logged in, you have some additional responsibilities, and ICTs have some additional responsibilities. SRL have some more, NRL some little more, and NARI have the maximum. And NACO is the National Monitoring Agency. SACS have their criteria within their state limits. So these are the process, basically what and their process is doing, and the dashboard Pankaj is already explained. So if there is any more questions, we can do in the coming slide, coming presentations. So this is at the last data. This data is basically, you can see that it is the last week data is basically, you can see that in NACO-Prayogshala, there are 2, 3, 4 modules we are already explained that the NR means serology module we have started in 6th of February 2020. You can see the NRL, National Reference Laboratories, are 100% registered, SRL is 100% registered, and ICT is almost 98%. We can say it's only very few of them are not registered. And wire load is also 100% registered, and CD4 is little less because it's the process, the entire process started on 23rd of September 2021, and they are conducted only one round of PT in the digital platform. The PT program is going the last 10 years, but digitalization with the CD4 program is started only in September. So this only one round happened, and many of them are participated because the first round NARI was introduced both type of participation, the digital submission as well as the paper or an email submission was there. So many of them are not, many of them are registered but not participate through the digital platform, and they are sent to the paper-based or email-based reports, and they are analyzed and they are started getting their results. So since this time, we can say that it's a very good participation, good performance is happening in the ground level, and we still used to improve the quality. And this is the data entry. That the first slide was basically the registration. This was the usage for the different type of usage. So the data entry means to see, you can see the workload. This is two financial year. You can see 2021 and 2022. This is January, April, July, and October, and you all know that the reverse testing is happening in 4 quarter basis, the first week of the every quarter. And the 20, there is a pandemic situation, so many of the labs are not functional, or the staffs are diverted for the COVID laboratory, and the patient was not coming on right time. So the little data was less, but still we have the last January of 22, it's basically 3,150 people are participated. At the same time, the PT program is also happening in twice a year for a serology section. For this is an ICTC data. You can see the participation, and the second round is just started in many places. This data, you can see this 23rd of February, we are taking this data. So this is maybe 1 or 2 weeks time, the second round of 22 will finish. So you can see a higher number of, most probably we can see a good number in the second round of 21-22. And wire load, we are used successfully 3 rounds. So I just given the second round also because today onwards, people received the panel 2 days back. They are sent the panel on 28th, and most, I think I saw a few data they are already submitted. And the second round, we are expecting all the laboratories, means 100% means 64. We have 64 public health sector laboratories in India now. All are functional, all supposed to participate. And CD4, I already told, the registration is happening through NACO-Prayogshala was 244. And 200 people submitted data. Many of them are not properly participated because of the shortage of the kits and the other materials there. So this is the data status. It's a good trend. You can see that the improvement for the participation as well. So and then we have another technical supports means assistance slide. This is the Pankaj is already very clearly mentioned what is the name for the portal. This is NACO-Prayogshala.in. All the type of browser is acceptable for this is one, but always good view is for the Chrome browser. And it's a multiple device compatibility is also there. You can use your desktop, laptop, even if you have a tab or a mobile. But we always prefer to use desktop or laptop because of the screen size is very small in the mobile smartphone. So there are many mistakes happening. Once you are entering the last data, maybe the first data was not visible in the screen. So maximum you people try to monitor and submit data, especially the data submission time. Monitoring is not an issue anywhere there is no data submission. So data submission time, you have to use at the maximum is a desktop or a laptop, and that is preferred. So now the slides presentations are finishing. Now we are going back to the live server. So thank you for the things. So now we are moving. So I think this is visible. This is the first page. I'm just enlarging the screen. So this is the first page where once you are typing NACO-Prayogshala.in, or the browser will show that. Many of you are already seen this stage, this front screen. Then you can see all 4 tools are already there. All are functional. So we are actually discussing about the SACS module. So SACS module is supposed to be get it signed here. You can see in the top band, there is a sign in, a red color sign in button is there. Just click it there. Once you click it there, you have to have your ID and password, and SACS I already explained in the last phase of presentation and training. This is a pre-registered form is there. We already submitted the complete details to NACO last week. Once the NACO is approved, all the SACS will receive respective email along with the user ID and password. So the user ID and password is already prefixed. Once you are logged in, you can change your password, but user ID is a fixed one, so you cannot change it that. So you can, once you are logged in, you can see you are on. This is a temporary. I just showing a demo. This is a Tamil Nadu State AIDS Control Society's ID, and you can see that the SACS short form, the abbreviations TN SACS. And this is a SACS ID, and right side you can see the edit profile. Why these things are more important means all the tools are almost look like the similar one. So we have many CD4 labs, load labs, and serology divisions. Even EQA program is also there. So there will not be any more confusion once you are logged in, which user ID I used, who is using which data you're supposed to. Means all the difference submission is basically different division. Load is submitting for the load data, serology is submitting their HIV-1 positive testing data, and CD4 lab is using the CD4 module. So you have to, everybody can see that what facility I logged in and who I basically. And there is another one is called edit profile, that is more important for SACS as well as all the facilities. The first round, once you are entering it there, means you have to see there are few things till in the SACS model, the line number 14, serial number 14, it's auto fetching from the data who is provided by NACO for us. So the rest of the things we need a secondary contact person also, and the designation, phone number, email, and the total facilities we don't have. We have a few things are there, but we have to ensure with the SACS, because as a state, SACS is the owner for all the NACO activities, their state AIDS control activities. So you may know that the total number of ICTs, how many you have, and how many CD4 lab you have, and how many wire load you have. Once you are typing, you will not be able to leave from there. You have to submit it, update your data. Otherwise, the red signal will be there. So you can go through each and every line. It's only one line. It's not able to change it. This is a SACS name and the user ID and the facility type are not editable, and all other things are editable. But you have to be very clear about that. So once you are did a edit means submit. So that will update, but the updation in the backend, all the dates, IP address, and everything is capturing, because for the security reason, who updated, from where they are updated, which day they are updated. You can see that. So this is the, I'm not updating because this is I'm showing from the live demo server. So it's the responsibility of the Tamil Nadu SACS supposed to go and update their data as per the actual basis. So I'm going back. And this edit profile you can use as and when you are required. Wherever the changes happen, maybe anybody's changed and telephone number changed, any new staff came or something is more important. So anytime you can go and update, but all the movements in behind is been recording in the server. So every modification recording, and the system can understand who and from where they did that, everything. So this is all about the self-explanatory for their own divisions and all departments management. And the bottom you can see we have three modules are completely ready now. One is for serology, the other one was wire load, and the CD4 lab. So Pankaj is very clearly mentioned in the flow chart what are the things SACS can manage. So this is very crucial role, basically till the time basically they may have all the SACS have the detail of how much. Just for the registration, I'm just clicking there and search there. But it's a second, the data is come there. So they have 3 NRLs in Tamil Nadu and 12 SRLs in Tamil Nadu, and 842 ICTCs are already registered in NACO-Prayogshala under the Tamil Nadu State AIDS Control Society. This data taking out, SACS will take a long time. For how many people you work means it's a long time process. It's in a second time. In a click point, there's all the things are came here, and every details are there. See the name of NRLs and what is the user ID, and the link lab is actually, or the NRLs link lab is an Apex laboratory, And they have how many total number of SRLs are there. That is also there. The particular NRL have 7 SRLs and all 7s are registered. This is Chennai TNMGRU have 6 and 6 are registered. CMC Vellore have 5 SRLs and they all are registered. Even in the email address is there, and the in-charge mobile number is not updated. Once they are updated, that will also come automatically. Not only in this level, we can go to the deeper level even. I need to know more about that. So the SACS can click, there is a user ID, there is a link. Once you are moving the cursor, once you are coming on the user ID, you can see changes in as a finger pointer. And we all know that where is the finger points coming, there is a link there. Once I'm just clicking on the MMC Chennai and click there, so you can see the complete detail of the MMC facility there, user ID is there, and report means the reporting laboratory, SACS is there. Date of establishment is not there filled. Once they are filled, that will come automatically, because that is an updation option. And location of the facility is also, there is another indicator newly came, is the medical college, district hospital, sub-district, PHCCSC, and other things. So that is also asking. And one additional information also you can get it from there. And the certification is most of the crucial things that SACS normally don't have an updated list of ISO certified, NABL certified facilities. When the date is expired, the certification is expiring, how much money they want, when it's expiring, they are prepared to that. And SACS can follow up the certifications program. Once they're expiring, means you have to renew, there's a process is there. So these are the things you can even go on deep and search for, not only the NRL level, even the SRL level also you can click it. For example, I'm just clicking the first SRL, which is Trichy. Once click there, they can see all the details, the same type address and everything. And they are also mentioning how many ICTCs they have. This particular SRL is saying they have 75 of ICTCs and all 75 are functional. And then you can see how this is basically, these data are all not available. So this is repeating. So once they update their profile, means all the details will come automatically there. So this, all the details you can monitor since sitting in your SACS office, just through this portal. Once you have the user ID and password, and you can see this is the name of the ICTC, and this is user ID. This is a linked SRL. So who is the linked SRL, and the in-charge mobile number and email address. If anybody want to call anybody immediately for an immediate intervention or required, or any details required, even you wanted to speak to somebody, means even the mobile number and email number is also there for contacting emergency basis. So this is the serologist registration details. So you can go to the deep level, from the top level to the deep level, to the entire facility in our catchment area, because the particular SACS area. And this is the PT programs, proficiency testing program. You just click it there, and you can just select the first round of 21-22 and just search it there. So you can see in a dashboard type of performance, you can see this is SRL, this is NRL and ICTCs. This is the first round of 21-22. The total facility, Tamil Nadu SACS having 3 NRLs, all the 3 are participated, there is no discordance. And again, you can see the SRL, how the 12 SRLs and 11 are participated. One is not participated, but it's not any discordance. ICTC also, you can see that this is the first round one. 221 year is 842 registered, 284 only participate. So you can see that the same thing in the bottom as a dashboard. There is no, if you don't want to, you just want to see the trend, what is the participation. So you can see, and once you are moving to the cursor, that will give more explanatory there. The participated is 11, means 91.7% as participation. This one is not participated. At the same time, you can come down to the other pie chart. You can just move your cursor onto the red portion. You can see that the not participation is actually 66% is not participated, and this is 33% are participated, and there is no concordance and no discordance. So at the same time, if there is a discordant list, you can create. Unfortunately, Tamil Nadu SACS in the particular round I selected, there is no discordance. So just click on the number of discordance, and just you can select the first round of 2020 and search it there. There is no discordance, and you can search any level where is there is no discordance is coming. So there is a blank is coming. So you can see the number again, they are the same number, 3 out of 1 and 12 and 13. So these all things you can see there, how many of them participated. The same time, the RT, reverse testing performance, that is also a round basis and quarter you can select. I'm just selecting the October round of 21-22 and just search it there. You can see the quarter first there and the year is there and the number of registered under Tamil Nadu State AIDS Control Society is 842. And number participated is 762 and selected state is also mentioned there. Number of discordance means 0 is there. And reverse testing, the discordance list will automatically display on the bottom. So unfortunately, you will not be able to see any discordance because they are completely concordance. So this level, you can see that, and the list you can take a print out, and even you can go and see which facilities failed, discordance happened, any immediate intervention is required or not, that you can see that. The same time, the viral load is also a registered program is there. You can just search the engine. So you can see these are the viral load is they have 7 records found, means total they have 7 laboratories, means under the Tamil Nadu State Control Society, they have 7 viral load machines and facilities are there. So the immediate contact details are there for the viral load in charge. His name is there, mobile number is there, and the email address also there that you can contact. If you want to see more detail about, means still you can just click on the viral load sections and you can go and see what is the complete things, that address and everything will be there. So you can see all the things. This is you can as per the SACS level, you are not supposed to do any edit on this any of the profiles. So you can just watch. If you think there is any changes or something, means you can contact to the respective facility and call your profile is not updated. You can update your profile, because if you want to send something through courier or something, means that will not be reached there. And you can see all the data updation, registration number and the IP used and everything is there. So you can monitor very closely the activities happening in the viral load. So then again, you can search and see these are all the facilities and all the things you can go and watch. So then same time, viral load is also participating in the PT program, proficiency testing program. It's normally happening in twice in a financial year. So that is also you can monitor. This is round 1, round 2. This is I'm just watching the round 1 of 2021. So that's we are already seen they have 7 laboratories there. So all the 7s are participated. So this is basically many of you are completely aware of that. So what is viral load proficiency testing program? They are the NARI is the provider for the panels, and they are sending 5 panels to each laboratories. So they are testing all the panels separately and submitting their results. So they have 2 type of results. One is the cumulative results, and the other one is the panel based results. You can see 2 dashboards here. One is for the total member score, that is called a lab wise performance. This is, we already know that 7 labs participated. If the move the cursor can say easily 6 labs are completely passed their test, means 5 out of 5. So I already told the 5 panel they are sending, it is addressing A, B, C, D, E. So this person that the 5 means 5 out of 5 means all the panel passed by 6 laboratories and 1 lab is failed in 1 panel. So the same, this dashboard is very clearly mentioning in the table format. You can see what is exactly the values. This green is numbers, means 5 out of 5. All the panels, they are successful. And the second is blue color. It is 4 out of 5. As an international standard of PT program, basically we all accept even 1 failure or a warning can have as an acceptable range. For example, 80% of mark, that is 1 failure is they are saying it's blue color, and 3 or less than 3 is called unsatisfactory. They are supposed to re-participate the PT program, and at the same time they have to go through all the corrective actions within their facility if it is not traceable. So we have to take assistance from the SACS, and even in the manufacturer of the platform is also ready to come to your facility to give you a training or find out the what is the wrong things happen because you are failed this PT program. So these are the score. We are very clear, the same dashboard, and the score is very clearly mentioned. And the right side is basically, I already mentioned, A, B, C, D, E is the panel addressing. They are receiving 5 panels. So you can move your cursor on the dashboard. That's very clearly saying the A is passed by, means qualified by all the 7 laboratories. B is also same. C is basically 6 laboratory passed, and 1 is the red, is means 1 is failed. And the D and E are passed by all the 7 laboratories. The same dashboard is mentioned as a tabular format in the bottom. You can see who is passed, who is failed, and what is the status. So the same time, who is passed, who is failed, that's a table format is also on the bottom there. The green, the same color coding is followed everywhere. The green is for the 5 out of 5, all the 6 laboratories name and phone number and the in-charge name and state is there. And the blue is a warning, it means a 1 failed. It means that is also acceptable. 1 panel failed is a CMC Vellore. We can see that, and the name and all things there. If there is no failed laboratory, particularly in this SACS, so if it is there, you can, that will displayed here on the red color table. So the details will also be there. The SACS also directly, immediately within a minute, they release the report by SACS. You can monitor and give instruction, or you can give a technical assistance to the particular failed laboratory. So these things can be monitored at any point of time, immediately as possible. So this is the viral load PT program. So the same times CD4 labs also have the same type of facility. This is the registration details. You can just click and search it. So Tamil Nadu State AIDS Control Society is having 43 CD4 laboratories are there. So you can see all the D4 43 are registered. They may have any extra. The total number we don't have. So once the SACS is updated, the total means sanctioned, permitted CD4 labs, total functional and total registered can be monitored. This data we don't have at presently. We don't have. Maybe most means in coming days we can get the details from NACO or from the respective SACS. The same time, what we are mentioned in the wear load and the serology facility. If you wanted to go through it and see the details, for example, the first one, I just want to see more detail about CD4 laboratory. Just click it there. So you can see all the details. Who is the in charge and their mobile number, official email ID, department, and the complete name of the hospitals and the postal address for the facility and street, city, district, PIN and name, and what type of, mainly they want to monitor till this is okay. This is completely only address details. So this serial number 14 onwards, basically how many instrument they have. They have one instrument, which platform they are using, and which platform they are using for the PT program, how many LT they have. These people have 2 LTs, and their both the names will be there, mobile number will be there, and when their registration happened, when the updation happened in the profile is also, you can see that. If there is any mistake, even the SACS can also monitor and indicate them, your profile it's not correct, your in-charge name it's not correct, maybe your LT's name and mobile number may not be correct. They can inform, and the facility can directly log in and update their facility. Then you can see the updated one. The SACS can take a printout, and they can inform any whatever the reasons. If you want to file it there, you can file it, or you can indicate to this respective facility, you can go to there. So this is the complete monitoring facility for the how many CD4 laboratories are there under the specified SACS. So then we are going back, just click wherever you want to go back. There's a top and the bottom, there's a home button. You can go back there. Then the performance indicators there. So performance means the CD4 first, I already told it's only 1 round of PT program is conducted by NARI, and their result is yet to announce. Basically, I think in 2 days they are completed. I understand that the data is also uploaded, but there is a green signal for the release of the reports is pending. Maybe the person who's supposed to be approved is in absent for the last 2 days or something. So most probably they will release the report immediately in 1 or 2 days. So you can see till the time it's in under process. So the rest of the things you already see in the PT performance of the serology wire load, and the same like the CD4 is also you can see in few days. So these are the major responsibilities of SACS. At presently the system we have, and we are very happy to take the inward suggestions, questions from your side, and we can of course improve the quality, and we can provide more facilities if it is possible within the limits. So thank you very much, and it's the time for your question. You can anybody wants to ask some questions, you can unmute and ask the questions, or you can chat your you can leave the questions in the chat box also. Login name means the portal address, and this email address for the technical assistants, and this is mobile number for any emergency contacts. One thing you have to be clear about that, this technical assistance team can only assist the issues with the NACO-Prayogshala, not with the HR issues, not with the supplies, not with the kit or an HR issues. That things you have to directly contact to the NACO directly, or to the SACS. Even the SACS can address these issues, and the SACS want to contact means SACS supposed to directly take a call to NACO. And most of the technical issues is related to the panel is also, our team is very expert. They can also explain to you the handling of the panels and the storage, even in the testing phase also they can assist, not physically come and assist you, they can give an explanations and everything. So if there is no more questions, we can close the session. So Pankaj, you want to say something on closing?
Thank you, Ajit. So this is the NACO-Prayogshala tool, which is developed to facilitate ourselves at the state level, national level, as well as the site level. So this will definitely have its own advantage. So we all together will use this, and if any improvement in future or while using, if you have, you can please let us know. We will improve on this, and let's make it successful as a NACO staff. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.